In spite of many people's denials in comment sections about Nissan all over the world, Nissan are in fact in a lot of trouble. Now, key point here is this. Nissan, their debt, or the company, is rated junk by every single ratings agency in the world. They're the only car maker to be in that position. But one of the ratings agencies, I believe it's Fitch, has downgraded them from junk to double junk. That's basically what it is. Now, even the most hardcore Nissan brand fan can't convince you, if you've got a brain in your head, that this company is okay, especially considering they just lost $5 billion after they said they weren't going to lose anything, right? It's not exactly a company that likes telling the truth to its investors. Now, though, things are, well, they've just gotten a little bit worse because Nissan has always, well, it's always been doing well in China until recently. And recently, things have been going really badly in China. In fact, Nissan have had to close yet another factory. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Now, guys, if you were curious as to why sometimes I'm burping on camera, it's this stuff. I'm drinking this stuff. No sugar. It's meant to be more healthy for me. So, Nissan is preparing to shut down production at its plant in Wuhan, China, following dwindling production, as in dwindling sales, of the Nissan Ariya and X-Trail models built there. That's a bit of a problem because the Nissan Ariya is pretty much a brand new electric car, right? But people don't buy Nissan EVs in China. It's just a fact. So you can see where things are going for the company. It's another blow for the Japanese automaker, coming just days after news broke that Nissan is bracing for the worst financial loss in its history. News of Nissan's plans first came from a local Chinese outlet. It's understood that annual production at the plant has only hit 10,000 units since operation commenced in 2022. 10,000 cars a year, right? That is crazy. I mean, how can a factory be profitable making that many cars? I don't know. I don't think it can be. That's why they're shutting it down. This is really bad considering the plant has the capacity to build 300,000 vehicles annually. This is the kind of thing where, guys, I see these headlines where people say, Tesla's production crisis, hell, their factory is at only 30% of capacity. It shows that the authors of those articles, they either, one, know that Tesla's production numbers are, yeah, they're not amazing, but they're actually not bad. Or they just don't know the fact that there's car factories like this all over the world from these legacy automakers that are just losing money, making 10,000 vehicles when they're set up to make 300,000. Nissan is currently leasing the site from Dongfeng Motor, who are their partner, so they actually own it. It's a 50-50 joint venture. According to Reuters, fierce competition from Chinese automakers has been a factor behind Nissan's underwhelming numbers. By the way, some of these Japanese car makers has said that it's racism. The Chinese don't like the Japanese. Now, I can tell you now, I don't think that's the case at all. Being in China myself, I found that the Chinese actually really like Japanese culture, which is a bit of a shock considering what the Japanese have done to the Chinese over the last 100 years. But still, they do. And I don't think it's got anything to do with racism. I think it's just got something to do with the fact that Nissan's cars aren't very good for the price. I mean, if they were free, I'd say they're awesome, but they're not free. So, I mean, you got to pay for them. So most people don't want to pay for them. Anyway, domestic brands have surged ahead, particularly BYD, Xpeng, Zeekr, Geely, Chery, leaving foreign companies like Nissan and Porsche scrambling to keep up. Yeah, I know I said Porsche. It's true. This isn't the only Nissan plant in China that's under serious pressure. In June last year, it closed its plant in Changzhou due to the jump in sales of Chinese EVs and dwindling demand for imported vehicles. This site has been operating alongside Dongfeng Motor since November 2020 and had the capacity to build 130,000 vehicles annually. So, Nissan cancelling this factory will be another blow to their balance sheet, which is already precarious. And it means that Nissan is clearly in a crucial period. It's in dire straits, says Carscoops, and Carscoops, I agree. We're only a few months removed from its planned merger with Honda falling apart, its CEO being fired, And on May the 13th, it's gearing up to release its full earnings report for the fiscal year that ended in March. The forecast is extremely grim. Last week, Nissan announced it is going to save the company by doing a bunch of stuff, firing people and closing factories, but it will post a net loss of around $5 billion US, or just a bit more than that, which is a lot more than it had predicted. It predicted it would lose 500 million. It's going to lose more than 5 billion, 10 times higher. I think shareholders should sue Nissan. If I was a shareholder, I would 100% be suing. There is no way in hell Nissan really thought it was going to lose 500 million when actually it's on track to lose 5.2 billion. That is just showing you that they're covering things up. And to be honest, let's be fair, the company's been covering things up for a long time. They say though, and don't worry, the company's going to be fine because in 2027, solid state batteries will be in their electric cars and they'll have a massive resurgence. And we all know that's a crock of shit. Nissan is currently in survival mode and is implementing a massive restructuring. It has confirmed plans to cut around 10,000 jobs, closing factories, streamlining model lineups, and it's looking for a new partner to bail it out and save it. That's what Honda was meant to do, but Nissan CEO didn't want to become subservient to Honda because he preferred to have the power himself. As a result, he's been fired. Nissan, they are implementing massive restructuring though, and that may help them, maybe, in the short term. In the long term, Nissan is finished. They have no choice but to just admit that they need to be bailed out. They have really no other options at this point in time. Now, I get it. I understand. I sound pessimistic, but let's be real. Guys, the entire automotive industry will consolidate. I'll be speaking to Sandy Munro next week about that, about his thoughts on what will happen to the automotive industry. But he's been saying this. Others have been saying this for a long time now. There is way too many car brands, and the weak ones will die. Nissan is currently one of the weakest, and the strong ones will be fighting a pretty tough battle over the next 10 years. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. More details have emerged about Nissan's crisis and what they're trying to do to get out of it. I think what they're doing won't be enough. I believe the company has, no choice other than to accept Honda's offer to essentially acquire it, or it will be purchased probably on the scrap heap by a Chinese conglomerate. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. There's a lot of confusion out there. Journalists are saying stuff that's completely untrue. They're saying Nissan's making a profit. Nissan's not making a profit. In fact, for the last 3 successive quarters, they made a loss, hundreds of millions of dollars of losses, in fact. And they have a $7 billion US debt balloon repayment that they have to pay. Apparently, executives from the company have said that they can't pay that, which would make sense.